Hey folks, welcome back to War Thunder. Today we are in the Challenger 1 in a sim battle on Poland. And I wanted to highlight this video in particular because it showcases how important, or not even important, but how much more it adds to a match to use communication with your team, even if it's just in chat. So this is actually my second live, because I can't remember what happened in the first one, but I basically drove somewhere, got caught out in the open, and then oh, I remember actually. I was in around D5 maybe, on the edge of a ridge, and the T-64B shot straight through my turret front and hit my ammo, which is inner ammo. It's just the warheads, and it's just a piece of metal, and it exploded and killed me. So that's why I cut that bit out, because it was bullshit. Anyway, so I've respawned, sat in spawn, and I noticed that everyone's taking fire, getting hit, so I just sit pretty for a bit, figure out where the shots are coming from, where people are dying, catch that T-64A in this flank, and there's a T-64B up there on the hill overlooking the lake. Pretty difficult to see, but you'll see him move out to the left, or maybe not. Oh yeah, there he is. And then get just through the side armour. Side armour is always the better thing to go for on the T-64s. Even if you're only off to like 15 to 20 degrees, you can still pan the side. Coming up is a showcase of the Challenger's armour. A more my way. I'm getting my words mixed up. Basically, it goes better for me than before. I found out recently that the armour value 470 kinetic, so that's one bounce, must have been off the turret. You can see that that one skimmed across the upper portion of my hull and clipped the fuel tank on the opposite side. That was a turret bounce because it went through my Togs optic hook. And the third hit gets my track. I think that damage to my loader might have been from that fire from earlier, which is kind of bullshit. I've got an aced crew, so thankfully the track repair's not very long, and then I'm just gonna like diddy mow and get the fuck out of here. But anyway, what I was gonna say is the 470mm kinetic protection against for the archer. He got through my side armor, hit the engine. But I have a faster reload than him because I'm aced. Get his cannon barrel. And it's a foregone conclusion now. The other one was killed by a friendly. So we're now clear. Right, back to the original thought. Or not. So that tank I'm aiming at there is a friendly tank that's dead. I'm just going to set the range prematurely for the target, for the road behind, because I know someone's just marked a tank in the town, and I know there's going to be a tank passing that point. And there he goes. Look, whilst I'm typing. So I was perfectly set up exactly for it, and I even knew whilst I was typing. I was like typing feverishly. I was like, oh, I've got to type this faster, I don't miss him. And that was making me fuck up and make more mistakes. It just took even longer. Anyway, so a friendly asked us to mark positions, so I think, right, he's up for some teamwork, so I can tell him that I saw that 264. So I'm just explaining what I just told you. I saw him pass the friendly wreck heading towards A. This is about 2 minutes ago. Obviously there's been a few cuts in the video since then, but I never saw him pass back. I actually went over towards A in anticipation from popping out somewhere, and he never did, so I drove back up here. So now I'm just going to kind of bum around these ridges. He asks where, so I'm just going to mark it on the map again, even though he's definitely not going to be there anymore. We've got a teammate on their cap. So now I'm thinking that because he's capping, the enemy tank's probably going to be pushing back and that's exactly what that guy thinks as well. So now pretty much the whole team is going to head up over there. But anyway, what I was going to say is the armour values for some reason on the Challenger are based on its protection against the highest pan shell the Russians get, which has 475 mil of pan at 0 degrees, but it has a very terrible performance against slopes. So basically any APDS FS shell in the game that has a better slope performance than the terrible slope performance of the top shell for Russia can easily pan the Challenger's turret. I've been playing the Leo A1A1 a lot recently, which there'll be videos of on the channel soon, to grind the 2K, and you can pan the Challenger's turret with ease. I've done it up to 1500 meters. It'll probably work out way beyond that, but just because the angle performance is so good of those shells that it just negates the armour completely. Whereas for Russian shells the angle performance is absolutely shite. So you can actually defend against Russian shells pretty well, but any other and you're really bad, which is probably why I find that this tank performs better in Sim, because you only face the Russians then. Right, so I've rushed around as you saw then. I'm now coming out of, I'm coming up on their cap from behind. I noticed that we've stopped capping it, which tells me that there's probably an enemy tank on the cap. Probably that T-64B. He's marking where he is. There's people saying that they're coming up on it from a different angle. So I've got maybe 2 or 3 friendlies down there plus me. There he is. He didn't kill anyone, so my teammates go straight through the arse of it. Kill all of his crew. At this point, I'm thinking that that's probably it. Friendly KPZ or MBT there. So I think that's the only guy, so I'll tell him that I've got him, because that guy's just swamming his 20 mil somewhere into that smoke, and I'm assuming that that smoke's friendly because of where the T-64 was shooting. No tank visible there. But at this point I'm thinking, hey, maybe there is another one. And then I see that smoke go off. And you'll notice there, as the tank's pulling away out of the smoke, I miss him, because I was looking at chat. And then again, miss him again. And then when I first spot him now, I'm thinking, oh, it's probably a friendly, zoom in, and then I'm like, oh fuck. That's a T-64B. Finish him off. But anyway, like I said, that only worked out so well because the team were communicating and we had a mass of tanks in the area that was most needed. And the Challenger can survive against Russian tanks relatively well, not so much against anything else. And honestly, for hold down sniping, I'd still take the Chieftain Mark 10. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then be sure to sub, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.